do these rankings matter when it comes to universities?
I mean, it does play a part now. And earlier, it used to play a very important role. Nowadays, it kind of plays a secondary role. So KHDA, again, there are two education governing bodies, and Ministry of Education, of course, is the higher authority in the UAE itself. And any university which is accredited by the Ministry of Education has a higher ranking in the UAE. Many of the international universities offer a wide variety of courses now. Dubai has become a very competitive market in terms of the education sector as well.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Dollar Daddies. Today we have an amazing guest here with our partner SecureMyScholarship. Agam, hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Abu Bakr. Nice to be here, finally.
You were late, but this is still...
Yeah, right. I was quite nervous.
No worries at all. Agam, what do you do at SecureMyScholarship?
So basically, I am the domestic admissions manager, wherein I handle each and every inquiry from students outside of UAE and in UAE to help them enroll successfully at one of our university partners in the UAE itself.
Okay, and you were late today because you were talking to one of these parents.
Yes.
What are typically the conversations you have with parents?
So the first main concern for the parent nowadays is earlier at what used to be, the university, how well ranked it is and how well it recognizes it worldwide. Of course, that concern is still there, but there's also a concern for the fee structure.
Do these rankings matter when it comes to universities? And
I would say it does play a part now. I mean, it does play a part now. And earlier, it used to play a very important role. Nowadays, it kind of plays a secondary role. Moreover, the fees is a main concern for the parents. Of course, they would want their children to study at one of the best universities in the UAE or abroad. However, their main focus is that, okay, what's the fee structure before and after the scholarship?
These students, they're typically from India. Where are these countries?
Mainly, yes, from the Asian subcontinent region, where you got students from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and then Nepal as well. And then you got students from Kazakhstan, Russia, and the other CIS countries, when, they would definitely send an inquiry in, and we would then help them across.
Things in India or these other countries like Kazakhstan or Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine maybe not right now, but Russia and all these countries, the fees typically cheaper, right? They are competitive in terms of pricing. So what is the incentive for all these parents to look at Dubai as their education place?
Dubai basically is, I would say, has become a very attractive region for any individual to settle down over here because of the diversity and the opportunities provided, thanks to the UAE government. And of course, because of which students and parents from across the world, they look out for an opportunity to come down to UAE, study, let their kids study here. Of course, yes, in their own country, they would find a much more cost-effective university in their home country. But moreover, what UAE offers is an international degree with affordable fee structure. Even after the scholarship, it does fall into their budget.
This does transition me into a question, right? Like, how does one go about finding which is the best country to study in?
First main concern is, of course, where are the courses offered? So let's say if any student is looking out for a business or a computer science degree, which are very predominant and common courses that students look out for, along with psychology or any engineering degree, they first check about universities abroad and then look at UAE also. And then comes the consideration for the fees, the ranking, and the scholarship. So all of this plays an important role into their selection process. And at the end of it all, like I said, like any parent would want their child to study at the best university, of course, within that budget range. So all of that thought process goes into, a lot of, I would say, thinking and debating back and forth with the child, with the parent, trying to analyze as to which university would be would fit their requirements, and we would then carry them on with the enrollment process.
And would, like, especially for international students, would the cost of living also play a major role in it, right? Like,
It would. But here's the thing: like with Dubai, things are at a very competitive pricing for international students. Plainly because when international students look at countries, other countries like US, UK, or Australia for that matter, the cost of living is more expensive than what it is in Dubai.
Mm.
And when they look at Dubai as a destination, um, in regards to their university or cost of living and how they're going to survive out here, it is at a marginally half of what they would be paying in US, Australia, or in the UK itself.
Mm.
So I mean that plays a very important factor for them, and then that's the reason why how they end up also choosing Dubai as a destination.
and what is the process of joining a university in Dubai? Like, how does it typically work?
First and foremost is, I mean, obviously, what course would you be interested in studying? And many of the international universities offer a wide variety of courses now. Dubai has become a very competitive market in terms of the education sector as well. Students have many options to choose from in sitting over here right in the UAE itself. And so after the course selection, I think then comes the part of university selection. Now, because you have a wide variety of courses available with all the international universities, you then now are selecting which university is the best out of all. And then comes the application process. So now with the application process, of course, you have your documentation, which you would have to submit in order to then get your offer letter. But if I may include SMS, then here comes the part wherein, when you individually go yourself as a student to apply, there is a cost which comes in wherein, you'd have to pay an application fee to the university to apply and then get your offer letter. Whereas we do not charge the student anything. And we basically, since we are partnered up with these international universities, they waive off any kind of application fees which is charged to the student normally, which means the student now has the freedom to apply to maybe 4 or 5 more universities free of charge and get the offer letters in and weigh the options.
I think a common question you'd get asked is like about the accreditation, right? KHDA versus
Correct.
MOE.
Yes.
Why does it matter, and what is it actually?
So KHDA, again, there are 2 education governing bodies, and Ministry of Education, of course, is the higher authority in the UAE itself. And any university which is accredited by the Ministry of Education has a higher ranking in the UAE. Now, in terms of KHDA, there are universities in Knowledge Park and the academic city as well, which are licensed and authorized by the KHDA. And parents sometimes think that if it is not an MOE attested university, it's not going to be ranked well. But it's not such a case. So basically, even if you choose a KHDA or an MOE attested university, I would say look at the international rankings and the exposure that the degree has. And because at the end of it all, the student is getting a degree from that campus, which is in the respective home country. And right after that, once they attain that degree, whether it's MOE accredited, of course, it's a plus point, because what MOE attested degree does is gives the opportunity to the student to even apply for jobs in the public sector, the government sectors. However, as you also know, you've been here in the UAE for quite some time. In your career, like, of course, experience matters more. And then comes your degree. So I would say even if a student is studying at a KHDA attested university, all that matters is that, the degree is from the right university, internationally exposed, and wherever they land up in a job, they should ensure that they have the right amount of experience.
Is it worth paying more to a university that is MOE accredited, in your opinion?
What an MOE attested university, why do they charge such high fees? There's also a reason for that. It's because they're following the ministry standards. Now, Ministry of Education, whenever they give out the attestation to these universities, they expect those universities to follow their standards and quality in terms of teaching, in terms of the amenities, and in terms of the equipments or labs, whatever the university can provide to the students. Now, certain standards are to be met. And if these standards are not met, then the MOE will not give that attestation to that particular university. Hence why, I mean, in order to kind of, I would say, give that compensation to the maintenance of these standards, the fees are a little bit competitive and higher.
And to get to your point about like the home country or the home campuses ranking, right? Do you think that home, like typically there's not a lot of home, if it's international universities, the home campuses in either Australia, UK, US, some of these places, and there is like a branch over here. Do you see a case, or is there a case to believe that the teaching quality in the home campus is typically better than in the branch, or is it just a myth?
No, I would say it's a myth, because all international universities who have their branch campuses in Dubai, they ensure that their quality and standards are met and are as good as what it would be in the home campus. Because these international universities' branch campuses are ensuring that their quality and standards remain the same, even when the student is studying in Dubai. And if they even study in the home-based campus, it's as good as that. So there's no difference. I mean, they ensure that there's no difference. And that's how, I mean, I believe it's a myth, basically.
And if I was thinking of going to US, what would my process be? Is it as easy as Dubai, or is there more processes involved?
I mean, yeah, I mean, there is, of course, it's a lengthy process in the US for universities in the US, and even in the UK for that matter. And if I go into the details, see, for Dubai, again, it's a normal application process wherein, you have your documents all arranged. And if I'm to mention those documents, like your passport copy, your Emirates ID, your results, your high school results, your experience letter, your undergraduate results, if you're doing your master's, all of these documents are essential for the universities in Dubai, for international universities in Dubai. For US, it's a little bit tedious also, because then you have your SOP, your letter of recommendation, and you have your, I would say, IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo. These are the English tests which you are supposed to and definitely take before entering into any or applying into any university. Whereas for universities in UAE or in Dubai, especially, universities waive that restriction off for IELTS or TOEFL, as long as you've scored really well in your high school 12th grade or 13th grade.
And how early should you start applying for universities? Let's say you're an undergrad student. How early should you start applying for it?
If you are looking at an international university in Dubai, I would have to say then you can definitely start applying since for the September intake especially. You can start applying by February. And February is as early as possible, in order to just, again, get the opportunity to maximize on your scholarship. That's the only reasoning why. And for US or UK or anywhere else, Canada, Australia, I would definitely then recommend students to apply from January itself, or even before that, from December as well, because it's an extensive process, not only because of the whole application process, but in terms of the university getting back to you with an offer letter, and right after your confirmation of enrollment, you then have your visa process, which is also quite lengthy and time consuming.
I've been to Australia, and this was not for a grad university purpose. I was just going for a visit, straightforward visit visa, and they were they put me in a room, they asked me questions, took my fingerprints. It was like the most the most exaggerated process I've seen. Like, do you really need to know what my family was doing in order to grant me a visa? And I see that quite a lot with like US. Like my dad got a US visa, again, a straightforward visit visa, right? Like a quick go and come, like a 2-day trip, 2-day business trip, and there's like this process, interview, this, and that it seems like an absurd amount of processes, right? And the question is, if I am going for university where I'm going to spend 2 or 3 or 4 years, Is the process equally annoying, or is it worse?
It is equally, I would say, annoying. But here's the thing: like, see, with SMS, Secure My Scholarship, what we have an in-house visa guidance team
Mm.
wherein they prep you up and they prep you up for the visa interviews. They ask you all the right questions, whatever the immigration authorities are going to ask you during your visa process, and that's when the students even kind of prepare themselves well once they have, taken our services and gone forward with the right university at the right country wherever they wish to go. So yes, it is annoying, definitely, for any person. And but at the end of the day, I mean, if you really want to go there, some hurdles must be crossed.
And speaking of SMS, right? Does SMS also help students choose the right university, counsel them on what course to do, what your thought process is, and all these things? Because I remember when I was a child, I had no clue what to do, right? Like I to be honest with you, I still don't have a clue what to do, but that's besides the point. But
Trust me, I'm on the same boat with you. I wish SMS was there even in my time,
Mm.
because yes, definitely we as a team do provide utmost importance and guidance services, however we can, to help the student achieve the right university that they want to go to and achieve the maximum amount of scholarship from the university, so that they can successfully then enroll. And I would say we help right from point A to point Z.
Mm.
So we cover all the points, make sure that you have selected at least 3 to 4 options of universities, to just make sure that you have options on your table, and then at the end of the day, successfully enroll.
and this also includes accommodation, cost of living,
Correct.
and all these sort of
Correct.
planning as well, right?
All these factors also come into play, and our team then, of course, guides you as to where all can you look around for accommodation. And as I mentioned, like, we have an in-house visa guidance team as well, so we prep you up for the visa process so that you don't so that the student itself is not nervous when asked questions, because as I'm pretty sure as kids, like, we, even during the time of my visa interview for the United States, I was very, very nervous and I was stuttering a lot. So, and I think the immigration officer thought that I might be not applicable for the US visa. But then, yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I think our team, and I believe our team does help the student go through that whole process so that they're confident, well versed, and then, of course, once the time comes in, they successfully give their interview.
A common thing is that you guys mentioned that you guys guarantee scholarships.
Yeah.
Right? How do you guarantee scholarships? And
Right.
does it mean that if I fail my exam, do I get a scholarship
Yeah.
as well?
So I wouldn't support the failing part. Definitely. See, the thing is, any student who comes across to secure my scholarship, universities have their set standards for applying for a merit scholarship or either financial aid or sports scholarship. Many a times students don't realize what options they have for scholarship. Now, this is where we come in and advise the student accordingly. Even if it is related to their sports, academic, or financial status, we advise them to take the right scholarship, maximize on those efforts, and negotiate, or rather, I would say, discuss back and forth with the university. Ensure that the student has received the maximum scholarship help given by the university. And at the end, if the student feels the need or still thinks that he can probably achieve more, we then help them out with an additional scholarship amount as well. So this additional scholarship amount that we provide the student is basically on the first year of them studying in that particular university. It's not given on every year, but it is just a boost of, I would say, financial commitment from our end towards the student, and thanking them for choosing us, and ensuring that they successfully enroll into their desired university.
Does SMS actually charge for these services?
See, for universities in the UAE, we do not charge anything, even for the universities abroad. However, because of getting a lot of attention and response from students wanting to apply abroad, we charge this, and we charge the students a nominal fee. It's a one-time payment fee of 49.9 USD, which covers all your services for applying to international universities in the US, UK, or Ireland for that matter.
And this confirm, like, you're practically guaranteeing not just an application getting into the university, but also a scholarship on top of that.
Correct. Yes. So again, let me stress on this point that this one-time payment fee that we charge to students is basically giving you all the services that we provide to the student. In fact, it even gives you the freedom to apply to 2 or 3 maximum universities abroad, which in an ideal scenario, you won't get that option. You would have to pay an application fee, a necessary application fee to any university abroad. And of course, then comes the scholarship as well, where we guarantee them that.
So I'm guessing like this $49.99 fee is just to kind of validate which lead is good lead and which lead is a bad lead. Is it that?
It's basically just to ensure that, we get the serious students in. Because like I said, I mean, in the past, we received a lot of positive responses, and it was immense to a point that our team couldn't handle the positive responses that we were getting from students everywhere from around the globe. And unfortunately, it came to a point wherein, there were students who wanted a complete 100% scholarship, or maybe had no budget at all to study at the desired university. And so we felt a little bit helpless at that point in time. Hence why we kind of introduced this nominal amount, wherein, of course, if the student is serious, they would then pay up that one-time fee, and then, of course, avail the services that we provide, and successfully then go ahead and enroll.
So by the sounds of it, it's not the biggest revenue stream, right?
No, it's not.
So how does Secure My Scholarship actually make money? Where does that come from?
We basically have an immense traction from our website, from our social media platforms, and universities, in fact, list with us on our website and social media. So we kind of mark it up for them and, get on board with a marketing contract with them. And that's how we make our revenue. And of course, set aside funds for the additional scholarship that we give out to students.
All right. That sounds perfect. Thank you, Agam, for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Bye.